Okay, so how you doing, everybody? Okay, I had a thing on my mind last night before I went to bed, and I was thinking that I was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. I I went back in my backlog, and I was like, oh shit, I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Shadows, even though a lot of people had something to say about it. And I was like, oh wow, Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think it's better than Ghost of Yotei. And I was like, because when you really think and observe from both games, they both are revenge stories, and you get more intrigue from Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, mind you that Ubisoft is fucking up, with the IPs and their business practices and stuff, and they pushing a lot of mediocre shit. But I was like, I'm enjoying more of Shadows than Yotei, As far as the revenge story is a little bit better. That's my opinion. The Shadows revenge story is hell of a lot better than fucking Ghost of Yotei. And then I also was thinking about the whole landscape of gaming now. You remember back in the day, I was in my 20s, back in the mid 2010s and some shit, and gaming in that era was far greater than it is now, because you really see the passionate things that they was pushing out. When you played the game, you could feel the passion. Like, they made everything enjoyable, and it was fun. And we really don't see that nowadays. Sometimes it's the developers' talk. Sometimes it's the developer's fault. But a lot of time it's the publisher. Like with Cyberpunk back in 2020 when they released that piece of shit, the developers end of CD Project Red was like, no, the game is not finished. The game is not finished. If we need more time. But the publishing side, the suits, the bosses was like, push that at Christmas so we can recoup the Christmas money. So, they want to make money. That's all they care about. That's what the suits do. The CEOs, the EVPs, whatever, that's what they wanted. They want to make money. But the development side was like, no, this needs to be a standstill to like maybe next year or like the year after or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I played the shit in this buggy glory. I paid for it. I should have gotten a refund though, but I didn't want to. But it is what it is. It's, and then a lot of game developers and publishing wanted to make a game like Fortnite. Fortnite is a success. They made billions of dollars off of us. Well, off the little kids, little kids stealing their parents' credit cards for V-Bucks and shit like that. And the gaming landscape as a whole looked at that like, shoot, man, that's transition our games from single-player games to live service. And let's make our own version of Fortnite, and let's have our own version of Fortnite money. Fortnite is a fucking anonymity. How you say that word? Anonymity. Anonymity. Well, you know what the fuck word I'm saying. Fortnite is special. Because I believe it was the first game of its kind to do that. And they had more room to do that. That's why they was uber successful. Then you got Apex Legends, and then you got Destiny, and the live service. landscape, you know. Even though Destiny kind of fell off, but yeah, everybody want to go live service because they see the money, and then you catering to casual gamers that picked up gaming during COVID. That's all they know is Call of Duty. Any live service games, that's all they know. So of course, when they play a good game, single player, they not gonna like it. Either they gonna say it's boring, and like it's boring. I don't like it. It's, you know, and I understand. You know, once you play with some friends, talking shit, whatever, but it's not really about those gamers that like those kind of games, and maybe the working man, the family man that have not that much time to play an actual single player game and get immersed in it, and they just want to pop up or fire up Call of Duty, play for 45 minutes to an hour because that's all the time that's allotted to him. You know, or her, if that's not a father, that's a mother. You know what I'm saying? This just want to, go in there, cut the shit, and play. But the gaming landscape is kind of misconstrued a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The casuals not liking the core hardcore gamers, and if they conversely go back and forth, like saying you're not a real gamer, casual, you need to fucking play more games. Half of the time they don't have time. On the other half of the coin, they are only used to one kind of game and they can't play other games. So it is like that. But there is hope. There are a lot of gamers that don't think like that. There are some gamers that do on social media, but most of the casual gamers that I hang around, or not hang around with, but there's more casual gamers that think like me. There's a lot more gamers that do that shit, and they are open. Like, okay, let me take a break from Battlefield 6, and this is, I don't know, play Cthulhu or some shit. You remember that game Cthulhu? Oh man. Like in any single player game, so they get lost in the sauce. But with the gaming developers, I see this transition, and slowly but surely they some of them are moving back towards the single player atmosphere. But the strategy, even though I said in 2 words twice, I just worded them different. The strategy of the gaming landscape from the developer sense is live service games. It is what it is. I don't like live service games, but it's a pretty understandable aspect why I don't like live service games. There's no pause button. Well, what if you got you got to use the bathroom and you can't pause the fucking game? You can't pause that shit, take a shit, and then come back. No, you gotta hold that shit until your fucking thing is over, and then you gotta let the game breathe, doing like the menu, and then you AFK, or no, AFK is away from the keyboard. And then you come back, whatever. For the fuck I'm trying to think of bullshit. But I think no matter what kind of changes the gaming landscape is, a lot of people are still stuck on the the nostalgic areas of what you used to. but you also gotta be open-minded that there are some games that are going to be live service, and there's some games going to be bullshit and mediocre if it's single player games, and it's up to you to watch either the trailer, either though I don't trust them. I'd rather you trust the streams and make sure that's the game for you. Don't, please, people, stop buying games that are based on the name itself. Wait till the streams to come out. Or like the gameplay trailer. You know, you have the developers play the game and they make the trailer out of it. You know, I don't trust the trailers where it's like cinematics. Wait till they push out the gameplay trailer, and that you can judge whether or not that's the game for you. You know, now I know this is like a hodgepodge of different topics in this video, and I do jump around a lot, but fuck it, man. Yeah, you gotta accept what I give you, because this is shit. Anyway, that's what I have to say on the gaming landscape. And so, in sum up, Assassin's Creed Shadows is greater than the Ghost of Yotei as far as the revenge story is better. All right. Plus, let me tell you a bit. Excuse me. Let me tell you this about Ghost of Yotei and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let me tell you something. Assassin's Creed Shadows, even though it's a bloated ass game because it's developed by Ubisoft and it is Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed always been bloated, but think of Assassin's Creed Shadows like an onion. It got many layers. Yotei is like, it's one of them small little baby onions that only have like 1 or 2 layers. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the gaming landscape on the developer side and the public and the publishing side is always going to clash. That's why we got fucking the last rendition of Cyberpunk. They always gonna push out mediocre bullshit that you let's say you hype for it and then you actually play it and then you mad as hell. There's always gonna be games like that. And just be smart with your wallet. All right. Be responsible enough to look at gameplay trailers and streams to let you know that the game is good for you. Don't let nobody talk you into buying the games just because they like it. Because you are individual and you like what you like. Because you know you like what you like. Peace out, bitches.